A strong branding or a positive image of the country can help drive its economic development. But how can the Philippines boost its image? The Management Association of the Philippines Junie del Mundo shares his insights. Junie, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much for inviting me, Rico.
How can we improve our country branding on the global market?
Well, country branding is actually a scientific process. It is not just a matter of crafting a tagline or a logo. It is a process. It starts with major research, then you develop your messages, then you develop programs that would support the country brand. I always like to use the example of Korea in its country branding. Korea does not have a single tagline or a single logo. But Korea's country brand is actually programmatic.
And of course, you have the K-pop stars and the K-drama stars who are now the face of Korea.
Exactly. And that one is a strategic move of Korea because it was created by the National Branding Council of Korea, which is a joint public and private sector initiative. They created a 10-point program wherein K-pop, Korean telenovela, the Korean wave, wherein they send students
Hallyu.
outside.
The Hallyu wave.
Exactly.
So, do we have that kind of 10-point strategy? Are all stakeholders one in promoting the country as a global brand?
Unfortunately, we do not have.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, we do not have.
Why not?
In the previous segment that you had, you were asking about the crisis and all of these things that's now plaguing the country. One of the major advantages for a strong country brand is that it creates a halo effect and it becomes a protection against crisis management, against crisis, actually.
There has to be one messaging,
there has
one
to be
narrative.
One messaging. Yeah. And then if you ask me, is the government doing a good job in communicating its messages? No, it's not.
Okay.
Because the problem is the right hand doesn't know what the left hand is doing. And we do not have clear messaging. And that's the reason why the Management Association of the Philippines has been pushing for the creation of a national branding council similar to that of Korea.
How long has the Management Association of the Philippines been pushing this National Branding Council initiative?
It's nearly 2 decades now.
Oh, forever.
It's nearly forever now, you see. But the problem that we've been getting is that, we even went to the extent of crafting a position paper, sending a letter to the president, creating a draft executive order, but unfortunately, up to now, we haven't gotten a response.
When you're saying 2 decades, that means it has already been through 3 or 4 presidents. But all the more, Junie, we need this National Branding Council because we're facing so much crisis situations now. The hacking of PhilHealth, the Philippine Statistics Authority, you have the House of Representatives, the confidential funds fiasco.
Rico, in my previous life, I was a diplomat, and I was assigned at the Philippine Embassy in Paris. And, at that particular time, in the 80s, what was the Philippines known for? We were known for child prostitution. We were known for Smoky Mountain. And we were known for corruption.
Are those themes still present in our environment?
Well, those themes are still present in our environment, but then it has been taken over by other things. Could you imagine, as consul at the Philippine Embassy in Paris, I would get a call and basically say, Mr. Consul, I would like, can you please introduce me to someone in the Philippines because I want a mail order bride. That's the reputation that we have.
So 2 decades now, you've been pushing for this National Branding Council. Do you think it will become a reality in this administration of President Bongbong Marcos?
We are hoping, because the President in his 2022 SONA talked about strongly the importance for the creation of a Philippine brand. And we are really hoping that he will listen to us at this particular point in time.
Has the map already had an audience with the President? or with the executive secretary to push for this initiative?
We haven't had a formal audience, but we have written the president. We have spoken to several cabinet secretaries about it. Because in our view, the National Branding Council has to be housed in the office of the president because it cannot be housed in any of the sectoral agencies because they would have their own interests. Because the Department of Tourism would push for a tourism brand. The Department of Trade and Industry will push for its own brand, etc. You know, you need to have a unified conductor of the orchestra, and that is exactly what Korea did. And it's proving to be very, very beneficial for the country because it has gotten a lot of investments. The Hallyu is now a buzzword everywhere, and the entertainment industry is booming like anything.
So we do hope and keep our fingers crossed that this National Branding Council will materialize sooner rather than later.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you
Junie
very
del
much.
Mundo of the Management Association of the Philippines.
Thank you very
Good luck.
much, Rico. Thank you.